Good morning, everybody. It's very nice to pitch for you. Thanks for listening to me. What I actually want to focus on today is the personal side of HenQ. So maybe the side you wouldn't find on the website or you wouldn't really easily get information about, and a little less all the generic stuff about venture capital. And I want to do so in two ways. So first of all, I want to explain to you, I joined HenQ about 2 years ago, and I want to explain to you guys why I joined and why I still think it's a great VC firm. And I mean, the clock is ticking quickly, much more quickly than I imagined it would be. If I have time, I'll tell you a bit about how we help portfolio companies. If I don't manage to finish it, just come to me afterwards and I'll tell you much more. I think for me, HenQ, from the beginning, has been a great VC firm for 3 reasons. First of all, and that's quite a, well, in a way, a generic one that applies to all firms, HenQ is a VC firm with a good track record. And when I joined venture capital, my view was that if you have to join any team anyway, you want to be in a winning team. And I mean, the VC journey is, the journey of running a company is very painful at times. It's going to be tough. And you want to have a partner that increases, optimizes your chances of becoming a winning player and coming out of that tough period in a winning way. And I think for me, the fact that HenQ has had 2 very successful prior funds with companies like Mendix and SEO Shop really was a sign that it indeed is a winning team. So that was the first major reason. Second very important reason why I really love HenQ is a much more cultural aspect, and that's that I don't know any firm in the world where there's so much freedom towards portfolio companies, but also internally. We meet once every 1 or 2 weeks, and then even for the 25-year-old people who join our team, there is nobody telling anybody what to do, which is great if you are very competent and if you are very ambitious. And I think that always applies to very early stage entrepreneurs. And I didn't really mention it, but what we do in terms of investments, we invest in B2B software companies. And there's mainly one requirement in terms of stage. Other than that, we're quite agnostic. You have to have a finished product and the first couple of customers. And I think if you're in that stage, what's really great is to have all the freedom to be authentic, to really develop your own processes. And I think with HenQ, as a firm, our culture is built around it. We're very free, but very ambitious. And with us, that's a great way to become successful while still finding out what you really are. And the third reason is it's in a way a fun factor. It's why it's really nice to work with HenQ. When I joined venture capital, I wanted to work with a fund with a track record, like I said, but it's very difficult to find a firm with a track record that does really early stage, because it makes sense when you raise a bigger fund and you have more money to deploy to start investing in bigger firms, because it's much more difficult to keep your own investors satisfied as a venture capital fund and make returns with a big fund and small investments. And despite that challenge, and despite the fact that it's very difficult, we still chose to do very early stage investments. And to me, that really was the sign that the guys at HenQ, and now including me, we really love doing what we do, and we really, really just also want to help you build something. I think those 3 reasons, if they mean something to you, I mean, joining a winning team, working in a culture of great freedom, authenticity, but also extreme ambition. And if you really love building companies the way we do, also just for building it, for making something, for creating something, then there might be a really great fit. And that's how HenQ for me stands out. I see I have 1.5 minutes left. And what I wanted to tell you a bit about is how do we work with portfolio companies. And I can give you all the blah, blah about, I don't know what, probably all those things you've heard before, but I'm just going to give you a short example of how we've recently done a portfolio research and what we do with that. So what we really try to do as we grow is also become better at what we do. So recently we've now had 10 years of being a venture capital fund, and we just wanted to sort of extract all the lessons learned from that. So what we did, we hired a very smart summer associate, and we had her interview all our portfolio companies and really find out what their answer was on one question. What do you value the most in HenQ? Like, how can we help? And it turned out that we're very helpful in helping with follow-on funding, with exits. I mean, it's a bit of a DA thing because we're great at finance, so that's what you would expect from us. One thing that was very good to hear is that, of course, every investor probably does board meetings, but our portfolio firms really found it very helpful. The strategic advice, it can be about anything, about, like I said, raising a new round, about hiring a new CEO, about employee retention, etc. And one thing they also told us that they would like to see more. Okay, and I have to tell you about this later, but they think we could help more with recruitment. So on Monday, we have an HR partner as starting. And I didn't finish my entire talk. Come to me afterwards, and I'll tell you in much more detail what we do.